For more than 40 years, America's top guns and top stars have been wearing sunglasses that are made in Massachusetts by Randolph Engineering. It's a company committed to making their product in America. But what does it take to get the job done here? And what's so special about these glasses? CEO tells us about the company and his career, which began at Randolph with just 3 employees. Stay with us for 50 Shades of Shades, now on CEO Corner. Good evening and welcome to CEO Corner. I'm NECN Business Editor Peter Howe. It's a made in Massachusetts product, as we just said, that is sold all over Hollywood and all over the world. We're talking about the glamorous glasses and functional eyewear made by Randolph Engineering. Of course, one of the company's biggest customers remains the United States military. Joining us now to talk about it all is Peter Waszkiewicz, President and CEO of Randolph Engineering. Peter, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you, Peter. Pleasure to be here.
So a great show and tell story, and I'd love to hear you describe, the niche that you see Randolph filling in the world of eyewear these days.
Great, yes. A lot of what we do, our heritage is with the military. We've been producing military sunglasses since 1982, as well as frame-onlys. So a lot of our heritage is manufacturing aviator pilot sunglasses. We're so good at it, we decided why not take that story and start to build our own commercial brand of eyewear.
So these are obviously high-end. What are some of the things that you get from a Randolph pair of sunglasses that you wouldn't get from, say, CVS or Walgreens?
Everything we do is high quality. We start out with the best materials. We shop around the world, worldwide for the best materials. We'll always buy American when we can. We use precious metals in terms of our finishes, the best optical grade lenses. We have crafted, talented artisans producing eyewear. We're actually one of the only companies left in the United States that actively produces metal eyewear.
And there is a lifetime warranty against manufacturer defects when you buy a pair of these?
Yes, there is. We feel so confident about what we do. We have a lifetime warranty on our eyewear.
That's pretty terrific. So there's a couple more numbers that I want to bring up before we start the really fun part of looking at sunglasses. Randolph, founded back in 1972, headquarters, you guessed, Randolph, Massachusetts. Company has 65 employees, and they sell 450,000 to 500,000 frames per year. And we alluded to high-end. Prices range from $129 to $375 per pair. I'm sure a lot of people see a number like that and wonder, what do you get for a $375 pair of glasses that doesn't come in a $129 pair?
Yeah, it's all about the product. The $375 pair of sunglasses we're referring to would be our line of shooting eyewear that we manufacture.
I'll hold this up so we get a good look at it. And this is called what?
This would be under our Randolph Ranger brand, and it's specifically designed and built for skeet shooting, for the clay shooting target market. Right. There's 3 disciplines: skeet, trap, and sporting clays.
And would this have had its roots in a military version?
No. It's just a market that we ventured into about 15, 20 years ago.
And so I'll go ahead and put it on. Oh, nice. So some of the things, I assume the glass must be made of incredibly tough material to keep my eyes safe while I'm shooting.
It is. It's made from true grade polycarbonate, which is impact resistant. It will pass ballistic testing. This particular, the lens itself, the frame is not, the frame's not tested for ballistic testing, but the lenses sure are. And these frames are actually made to enhance the target against the background.
Right, so that you get sort of on a color filtration, so that things sort of appear brighter and crisper.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on the light conditions of the day and the background, would depend on which type of color lens you would use to bring out the target.
Great, excellent. So let's talk about what we've seen Jon Hamm wearing on TV. This is, you call these. What's the brand name for this?
Well, this is the standard issue aviator pilot sunglass that the military has been buying from us since 1982. We've made millions of these. Jon Hamm wears it in Mad Men. It is no question our staple item in terms of our sunglasses. Very stylish. It's
the guy on the left looks a little better than the guy on the right, but you know, I'm trying. And so these would have been issued to fighter pilots. Who else?
Yes, ground crew. You know, anybody that had direct involvement in the air crew, be it Navy pilots, Air Force pilots, helicopter pilots through the Army.
Great. And so some of the things I notice, obviously the hinges, you know, seem just so much better made than other things I've seen. What are some of the other features you would call my attention to?
Yeah, there's a lot of intangible quality aspects that go into the product. That's a monoblock hinge design. That frame's been referred to as the tank. It's hard to destroy that. We'll literally take frames and twist them and destroy them to show the integrity of the solder joints. As I mentioned earlier, we guarantee the product for life of the frame.
And there's about a 200-step, literally, process that goes into manufacturing this?
People would be amazed at what goes into making metal eyewear. Yes, there's over 200 steps that go into producing quality metal eyewear.
So break down that number for us for you know, a little bit. I assume obviously it starts out with you've got some metal, you've got some plastic pieces, you have things that need to be sort of fashioned, put together, lenses dropped in. How do you get to 200 steps in a process like that?
All starts with the design process, and you know, we do computer renditions of product as we develop new product. It's all done on computer renditions before we actually start making the prototypes. It'll go through a whole engineering process. Sometimes we might design a frame that's not quite manufacturable, so all departments of the organization have to come together when we go through design process, and it's all about taking wire from rolls, straightening it, cutting it, milling it, bending it. It's pretty fascinating.
And perfecting that process all along. Let me hold up these two other frames and just tell us a little more about these as I'm holding them up to look at.
Yeah, so a few years back we had said we know how to make great sunglasses, but we're in the eyewear industry, and the eyewear industry is a $34 billion a year industry. Out of that, $4 billion is sunglasses. So why not get involved in the frame-only business, because we know how to make eyewear and we know how to make it well. So the frame on the bottom is the foundry, which is the RX side of our business. We produce a lot of frame-only RX frames for prescription wear, and that's our newest collection called the Foundry Collection. It's made from flat stainless steel that we source here in the United States.
And so you'd go to an optician and you'd have your, you know, once you had a prescription for your eyes and get lenses put into these.
Right, right. We sell to opticians, high-end opticians who carry our product, and you would go in and hopefully pick our frame.
Right. And then just a little more about these as well?
And that's the Amelia. That's one of the new styles that we just came out with. It has precious metal, what we call chocolate gold finish. Everything's, as you can see, it's jewelry-like finish. I always tell my people that you know, you're buying a high-end sunglass and people are paying a lot of money for it. It has to look like a piece of jewelry when you put it on.
And Amelia for Amelia Earhart.
That's correct.
That's great. Great tribute to her.
Aviation background.
Excellent. We should go to a break, but when we come back, we want to talk a little more about what it's like to manufacture in Massachusetts as opposed to China or elsewhere, and also some more about internet sales as well after a break. And welcome back to CEO Corner. I'm Peter Howe here with Peter Waszkiewicz, President and CEO of Randolph Engineering, maker of some of the very best of those 95 million or whatever it was sunglasses. I'm sure a lot of people look at this and think, even at, you know, high-end price points, $129 up to $375, how can it possibly make sense to manufacture these in the USA as opposed to China or Singapore or Malaysia? How do you pull it off and justify keeping the manufacturing here?
I think it's a great question, Peter, and I'd like to back it up and all the way back to the 70s. And when I first came into the business in 1975, 93% of the frames sold in the United States were actually manufactured in the United States. the whole eastern belt from at the Attleboro area, Rhode Island, which was more the hub, to New York, and as far as New Jersey, were at least 20 manufacturers that I could think of. And similar to the textile industry, in the 80s, everything started going offshore. And Randolph's corporate name is Randolph Engineering, because we actually started out as a tool and die manufacturing company to support optical manufacturing. And when we saw everything going overseas for better margins, we realized that we had to diversify and do something different, otherwise we'd be out of business.
So you'd been making the tools for the people who made the sunglasses, and you decided we're going to go into the sunglasses business. Yeah, because companies, our customers, were closing up their factories and taking their production offshore, and we decided we better do something quick or we're going to be out of business. So we said, we know how to make the tools, we know how to make the machinery, let's start making our own eyewear. So that's how we actually got involved in eyewear in the late 70s, early 80s. It's a challenge, there's no question. People ask us all the time, and our roots are here, and I think a lot of it has to do with the military and the fact that we were doing military contract work, and that has to be made here in the USA, so that kept us our roots here. And that's still about 25–30% of your overall business, military?
You know, back in the 80s, it was over 90% of our business. And again, we went through a diversification where you know, military is great, but it may not be around forever. So developing our own commercial brand was the strategic goal of the company. And you're right, it was 31% last year, and based upon our projected sales this year, we're looking, it's going to come in at around 25%.
Interesting. I would imagine one of the advantages to being in the U.S. is you roll out a new model, it turns out to be wildly popular, and you realize, you know, we need to make another 50,000 units, and it's a heck of a lot easier if you can do that in Randolph as opposed to placing an order over to China and wait 12, 16 weeks to get those to come back?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're looking at least 90-day lead times. The cost of producing over in China is going up. The transportation, just transporting product, is going up. So, you know, and the whole Made in USA movement is really gaining momentum, and we're proud to be putting Americans to work, and we're not going anywhere.
So do I go into a store to buy these? I'm sure I can get them online. What are your retail outlets?
Yeah, we sell through high-end men's clothing stores. There's a 800-pound gorilla in our business, and a lot of the retail, Sunglass Hut, for instance, is owned by Luxottica, and so our options of getting in there are slim. So we had to be innovative in finding ways to get our product out to distribute our product, and we've done it through high-end men's clothing stores, high-end optical shops.
I'm guessing it helps with the brand and the reputation that it's a little bit hard to get. It's not just everywhere.
Yeah, it's no question. It's selective distribution, and we do it for a reason, and that's to build the brand. And my senior VP of Sales and Marketing had the brilliant idea of growing our brand in our own backyard first in New England. Let's not try to conquer the whole United States all at once. So let's be successful in our marketing and advertising campaign here in New England, fix the bugs, and do what is successful, and take that model and duplicate it in other major metropolitan areas throughout the United States.
How big is online at this point?
Online is big and growing. There's no question it's a big part of our business. As it is, things are evolving. I mean, the youth are buying online these days, and you know, we'll always have brick and mortar, but there's no question that internet e-commerce sales are a big part of our business, and will be as we move forward.
I'm sure not one of your favorite things to talk about. State Senator Brian Joyce got in a little trouble getting 39 pairs of these for his 39 colleagues in the state Senate. And the question was it, above the state ethics commission threshold? The question I wondered for you was, is there really no such thing as bad publicity? Was that ultimately a good way to get the Randolph Engineering name out there?
Yeah, we would rather have the other publicity, but it's unfortunate. There's been a lot of controversy over it, and I'm in a position just to state that Senator Joyce, there were some issues brought up in the Globe in terms of detail on the sale that weren't completely accurate, and we did nothing different with Senator Joyce's sale than we would with anybody else or any one of our other customers.
Interesting.
In terms of bulk sales.
We will look forward to seeing how that all gets wound up, the disposition of that. We should go to one more break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about Randolph, which started as a family business, and what Peter looks for when he hires, and more on the company's goals down the road. And welcome back to CEO Corner. Peter Howe here with Peter Waszkiewicz, President and CEO of Randolph Engineering, maker of all these great sunglasses you see on the set, accounting for a good chunk of that $3.5 billion that we all spend on sunglasses. So it's a family business story where you came in and have stayed with it.
Yes, I did. I've been in the business since 1975. The business was incorporated in 1972. So I'm pretty much one of the newbies that first started out in the business. When I came in, I was employee number 5. And I was in high school at the time, working part-time, and my first job was cleaning the bathrooms. And that's what my dad put it on. I thought I was going to be doing something else, but he had other things in mind. And honestly, it's been a great journey for me personally to be able to work alongside my dad for as many years as I did. Unfortunately, I lost him in December of 2014, 96, may I add.
Wow,
so
but engaged up to the very end with the company.
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, he did retire some 20 years ago, but he always, we'd always have conversation when we played cards, and always wanted to know how the shop was doing. So
that's excellent. How did you find yourself navigating the roles of son and employee?
It's not easy, and there's a lot of pros and cons. And I'm second generation. We now have third generation in the business, and there's obviously pros and cons to having family in the business, and it's all about setting guidelines. And nobody likes nepotism in a business, and it's all about entitlement. Just because you're a family member doesn't
making sure there's clear standards and not letting the two roles bleed into each other.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. It's all about job description, and when you come in that front door, you're an employee, and that's what I drive home. And we all have one common goal in mind, and that's to grow the company.
So I'd love to know a little more about when you're looking for people, who might work on the floor, who might work in marketing. What are some of the things that you are looking for in hiring?
Great question. As we grow, that's one of our challenges. We obviously, I think attracting youth into our organization, into manufacturing, the manufacturing sector, is no question a challenge. We're a member of the Southeastern Massachusetts Advanced Manufacturing Consortium. That's a mouthful. And it's organizations that have come together to bring manufacturing to light, to educate the youth that manufacturing is a viable career path for them, and it's not necessarily just white collar and high tech jobs that are paying good money.
I would imagine some of the people that you attract to work on the floor must be people with sort of an artistic bent, obviously take great pride in manufacturing something that's very beautiful and precise and incredibly well machined.
Oh, it's amazing. Our business success is our employees, and we have a very high retention rate. We have employees that have been with us for 30 years. It's amazing, and they love working for us. They have a passion to work for the company, and they're skilled artisans. There's no question about it. It's, when we have to hire, optical manufacturing has left this country and has been vacant. We consider ourselves in the forefront of bringing American optical manufacturing back to this country. So it's not like we can hire an experienced person. We have to hire them, train them. They go through a rigorous training period. The end result is we hope we have someone who's got the talent and the hand dexterity to handcraft eyewear. It's pretty fascinating.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure there will be a great future ahead. Now we know more about the company that helps make Don Draper look so great. Peter Waszkiewicz of Randolph Engineering, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us for CEO Corner. We hope you are back with us again here next week. Meanwhile, stay with us here on NECN. We've got news, early warning weather, and sports, and much more straight ahead.